Everyone, welcome to SCube TV. I am your host Rajni, and today on the show I have with me a very special guest joining us. Her name is Megan Rooney. She is a meditation teacher and also a mindfulness practitioner. Today on the program, we are going to speak with her about mindfulness, about meditation, and also about chakra healing and Reiki. Yes, we are also going to talk to her about Reiki too. But before starting the show, let's welcome her to the show and also thank her for coming to the channel. Hi, Megan. Thank you so much for coming to SQ TV.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. It's very good, very exciting.
Yes, we too are very excited to have you. And again, I would like to thank you for taking your time out and coming to the channel. And now I directly would like to, shoot my very first question to you and ask my very first question, if you're ready.
Okay, go for it. I'm ready. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So, Megan, I would like to know from you that how did you become, firstly, before asking you any question, I would like to know a bit about your journey, as in how did you become a meditation teacher, mindfulness practitioner, and also, you also do Reiki and chakra healing. So all that. So if you can talk about that.
Yeah, I've quite a lot of wee tricks under my belt. So I am a professional youth worker. So I'm over in the north of Ireland, and I work with communities and young people, and that kind of that's where my passion for working with people and working with groups came from, was working with young people. And the mindfulness really came through seeing a need for it in young people, living in communities full of conflict, facing different issues like homelessness or drug addictions or just in general issues that young people and people face. So I definitely felt that there was a need for mindfulness to be taught. So I taught myself it, and I was very lucky to have a place in my current work in my organization where I was able to then practice delivering it to young people through them, and it was very greatly received. So I've just really enjoyed, spreading the awareness of mindfulness and breaking down any misconceptions about it, and teaching different people different ways that they can practice mindfulness, because it can happen anywhere at any time. So that's the mindfulness part. The meditation part, I decided that I just wanted to get qualifications. I love getting qualifications. I love learning. I love anything to do with developing myself. So whenever I see something like around what I'm interested in, I will go and get it, just so that I can say that I have the qualification. I think it just makes you a bit more professional whenever you have a qualification behind you. And meditation is something that you do practice during mindfulness, and it's something that you can be introduced to. People think that meditation is mindfulness. That is not the only thing, and it puts a lot of people off, because sometimes being in their own head, being in their own mind is a scary place. So we don't tend to start with the meditation whenever you're working in my workshops or with me, because sometimes you just can't be alone in your thoughts at that time. There's, very tricky feelings and things to sit with. So, and then the spiritual side, my mum has always been into Reiki, crystals, healing. I was born up a Catholic, and with Catholicism, usually it's frowned upon. Spirituality is frowned upon. However, just with a lot of being exposed to it my whole life, I just realized I can have both. I can have religion and I can have spirituality, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's one or the other. So that's where the Reiki came from. My mum used to do Reiki on me. I remember one night I was sick, and I woke up and she was at my bedside, and she just, said to me, go back to sleep. So she was doing a healing on me while I slept, to try to take away any kind of physical pains I had, to help me heal by removing the blockages that were around my body. And I just thought it was a lovely practice and something that I wanted to definitely start doing as a profession. So here I am doing that. Yeah, a lot of different things as well. So even the angel cards, chakras, things like that, it all comes as part of practicing mindfulness and connecting to your higher self and the spiritual world. So yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Yes, it does. It does. So, but Megan, how much time does it take to be a professional card reader or, meditation teacher? So, how much time does it take?
People can tell you that you need qualifications for this. People can tell you that you need to go to certain training for this. But the reality of it is we all have it within us. We all have it. We all have the ability to heal ourselves, and we all have an intuition to dig into and to work with and to connect with our higher selves. We all have it. Like, we are not alone in our body. Like, our body is just our body form. Like, our spiritual form is a whole different thing. So, I mean, anybody could walk up and say, I'm a mindfulness teacher, or, I do groups around this or that. What I find is it's about the person and the energy that they bring and the connection that they have with their higher selves. And for me, my mindfulness qualification, I was able to zoom through it. I done it within like a couple of weeks, but there's more in-depth things that you can do. Everyone is different. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it needs to be a lengthy process. I think you kind of need to practice what you preach, and that's where the time comes. That's where the length comes. It's where you're practicing what you preach. So you're not going on and saying that you're good at meditating, or that you can, you meditate every day, and then you tell other people to do it, but you're not actually doing it. Like, you need to be doing things and backing it up. That's what the self-healing, so that you can move on to heal others, is what takes its time. So it depends on the individual and the journey that they're on. And it never stops. So it's just something that you have to keep working on. So it takes a very long time, but I don't want people thinking you need to have certain qualifications to do what you want to do, or to pursue this and share it with other people. Like, we are all born with a purpose. And if you're able to channel that and live and breathe it, and also heal yourself while you're healing others, then you're winning that life, really.
Yeah. But Megan, also, you mentioned that meditation and mindfulness are completely different other things. I mean, they are associated with each other, but they are different in their own way. But some people are there who actually believe that meditation and mindfulness are the same. So how is mindfulness different from meditation, and what exactly is mindfulness?
Okay, so that was saying that. Whenever I said that, in my head I went, they are connected. What I meant by that was that if you were to Google mindfulness, meditation will come up. So if I was somebody who was just starting out and wanted to explore it a bit more, but I felt awkward, or I felt uneasy, or I felt something about meditation, I would automatically just go, no, it's not for me. Like, my very best friend, whenever I told her that I was offering workshops and one-to-one work, she said, I can't do mindfulness. I just can't do it. Her idea of mindfulness was that it was just meditation, and that was it. So what I mean by that is that, yes, meditation is a really big part of being mindful, but there's other ways that you can be mindful, and mindfulness can happen anywhere at any time. You don't have to go on top of a mountain and sit and sit in a certain pose to do this. You can be mindful in anything. Like, I practice mindfulness, and whenever I'm eating, when I'm drinking, just taking that time to be present in the moment. That is what mindfulness is. It's being present and appreciating things that are around you, and just noticing different things, and welcoming your thoughts and feelings at that time. So every thought and every feeling that we have, it is there to tell us something. Every challenge that we face is a lesson for us to learn. So, and yes, you do then progress on into the meditation state, and that's a good way to ground yourself and practice further. So yes, different ways to be mindful as well. Like, you can do mindful when you're walking. So when you're out with your children, you can do it anywhere. You can do it with other people. You can just spark a wee conversation and think, look at the trees, like look how lovely they are, look how the colour green they are, look at the flowers, the plants, you know, different things like that. Feel the breeze in your skin, hear the birds singing, hear the traffic, you know, different ways like that. That's all different ways that we can be mindful. But it's about cultivating your conscious self. So we live a lot, you know, we live a lot in our unconscious state of mind.
Yeah.
I listened to a podcast recently, and they said between 97 and 99% of us, or of our living, is unconscious, is your subconscious. And that really scared me. But like, if you think about it, sometimes you drive somewhere and you get to the place, you're like, how did I get here? Like, I don't even think about that, you know? So it's about taking yourself out of your subconscious mind and taking it into the conscious mind, and living consciously that way. And just being present, you know, not time traveling, not worried about the past, not worried about the future, and just being in the now. Okay. And of course, meditation will help as well.
Okay. But Megan, here's my question. So you said that we can practice mindfulness anywhere, and you know, it's just by being a bit conscious, because we tend to live in unconsciousness. And if you become a bit conscious, so that's how you can become mindful. But here's my question. So when you are sad, demotivated, negative all around, I mean, negativity is all around you, and I mean, depressed and are having those pangs of anxiety and grief. So at that time, how do we practice mindfulness? And also at that time, how do we live in present? Because if we live in present, so all that present is giving us is grief, negativity, and all the negative things. So what to do at that particular time?
Okay, so just a bit about me to back this question up. I have been dealing with depression since I was 16 years old. I have been on antidepressants since I was 16 years old, dealing with different traumas in my life, my childhood, the whole way up to teenage years. You know, thankfully my connections and my relationships with my family are brilliant at the minute, you know. And you can do a lot of self-healing that way. So I didn't just get to where I'm at the minute by just waking up one day and thinking, I'm going to be mindful today. I'm amazing. I know what I'm doing. So I would just suggest to start small. Your environment around you, I would always say to people, your internal matches your external. And sometimes we look outside and externally for validation, for people to make us feel a certain way. You know, we look to other people to make us feel, and we give a lot of control to other people. So my suggestion is, whenever the outside is looking really crap, dark, dull, look inside and find out what makes you happy and what kind of a life is it that you want to live. What do you want to introduce to your life? And start there. And also a big thing for me, I'm a big believer in the law of attraction. And that's about practicing gratitude. So they have a saying, attitude for gratitude. Yeah. When you start appreciating the things that you already have, then you will attract more of the things that you want in your life. When you're grateful for what is in the now and the lessons that are being learned. So what I would say is, you know, start small with your gratitude practice. Start small and look at different things, maybe not material things, but things around you, the space you have a roof over your head, you have friends that you can go and talk to, you know, things that, so definitely things like that. I've got clothes on my back, I've got milk and bread in my fridge. You know, start small things. So the more that people think if you want to be grateful, you have to be grateful for a car or a house or whatever, but that's not necessarily it. You know, start small, and the more that if you start each day with a grateful heart, you will then attract more into your life. And also celebrate your small wins. So yes, okay, we're depressed and we have, you know, not really good people around us sometimes. We are learning about ourselves. Every experience that we go through, we learn. And then we can then learn what we want, what serves our soul, what makes us happy and what doesn't. And it's just about then getting to the point where you want to take away from that and realize that you are in control of you. You are in control of your life. You have the power within you. We're powerful beings. Human beings are very, very powerful beings. And once you realize that, and once you realize you have a connection a spiritual connection, and inner wisdom and inner intuition, you realize you're actually not alone, and it's not up to anybody else. Nobody else can control you or your emotions, because you have it in you, and you can decide what it is you want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Megan, also, I would like to ask you that if you can please tell us the steps. I mean, how can we, especially for the big, how can they practice meditation? Because, it is said that if you have to practice meditation, it takes a lot of practice. To be a good meditator, you really have to get into the practice, and you have to practice a lot. But for the beginners, how can they practice meditation, and what can they do if you can, break down it in small steps?
Okay, so what I would say is that it is good to start small, because to get to a certain meditative state, you do need to practice. So just remember, like, our brain is a muscle, and it will need to be trained. So you train your brain to get to a certain state.
Yeah.
So small ways that you can bring like meditation into your everyday life is by doing walking meditation. That's just being aware of different things. So different things around you. I love to do in the shower meditation, where I would visualize.
Okay.
So if you visualize things, you can visualize the water coming over your body, cleansing you of the negative, the energies that you've been holding on to, and just working on that mindset, working on your self-talk. So how you speak to yourself, and how you what you want to like manifest, what you want to create. Keep telling yourself that. Your brain will literally look for the evidence to back up these emotions. So if you keep telling yourself, I can't, you won't. If you say that I can, you will, because your brain will then go and find ways that it will be able to do that. So whenever you're meditating, you can start off by just sitting and grounding yourself. Your morning cup of tea, just sitting with that, holding the cup, and just feeling your body, feeling your sensations, feeling the different emotions that you're going through, and just being present in that moment and acknowledging these different feelings and emotions. I would also say that there is meditation programs out there. So you can either get free meditation programs, you can go online, you can get different meditation things there. You can go on YouTube and type in guided meditations, and you can start off small. So you can start off with 10-minute meditations right up until an hour meditations. And you will get very good teachers from there, Deepak Chopra, different people like that. They're brilliant. Gabriella Bernstein is she's amazing. She's good in terms of self-talk and overcoming hardships in life and getting the life that you want. So start off small would be my thing. Becoming aware of our thoughts and trying to channel our thoughts in a positive way. So if you realize I'm thinking bad things, I'm thinking about being depressed, you're actually being mindful. So that is you practicing mindfulness. Whenever you catch on to that thought, then you can also catch on to a way that you can reframe that thought, and you can reframe your self-talk. So for the beginners of meditation, I would say read up about it, educate yourself on it. Don't be putting too much pressure on yourself. You don't need to put any expectations on yourself. And you can just do silent meditation, where you just sit in your back garden and you just close your eyes and you just take everything in and just be appreciative of the current state. And then practice it. So the more you practice, the more you will get advanced, the more you will learn about yourself, and you'll develop then a more resilient kind of way of life as well. So there's a lot of benefits between that.
Okay. And I think, that's really amazing what you told. And also I think the birds are too agreeing with you. So they are chirping behind, and they're also agreeing with you. Now, I would like to talk to you about chakra healing. So what exactly is chakra healing? If you can please talk about that.
Okay, so chakra healing. Our chakras, everybody has them. They are our energy centers throughout our body along our spine. Okay, so we have seven well-known chakras, and then there's people who talk about the 12th dimension chakras, but I'm not that educated on that part yet, but I will be. But the 7 chakras that we have here along our spine is our energy, and this isn't a new thing. People think that this is a new airy fairy kind of term that people like to use in the yoga world or the the mindfulness world or whatever, but it's actually an ancient system that was used years ago that would have helped people understand their bodies, their energies, their illnesses, and different things that they were feeling. So they would have came up with these different chakras. So we have 7. We start from the bottom and we work our way up. Our first chakra is called the root chakra, and it is placed at the bottom of the spine. And our root chakra, and each chakra has a color. And a good way to enhance and unblock your chakras yourself is to wear these colors and embrace the colors of them. So learning the colors, it's the color of the rainbow. That's how I remember it. I apologize if my dogs bark here. Just they're possibly going to bark.
No
because
problem.
There's a bee, so I have to apologize for that.
No problem.
So anyway, so the base, your root chakra is your grounding chakra. So this is where we feel grounded. This is our stability. This is our base, and everything else has to be aligned to this. So if your root and your grounding is off, then you're going to find that there's something along here that isn't working, or that it's blocked. And the way that I describe it, because sometimes if things are too wordy for me, it doesn't register in my head. So I would describe it as like a mechanism, like turning wheels. So there's 7 of them, and if one is clogged, the other one's clogged with them. So we need to kind of figure out, where that is coming from. So the root chakra, is red, and if we're in our head too much, that's whenever we figure out that it's blocked. If we're living in our head and we're not going through our feelings and we're not dealing with things, and that's an indication that your root chakra is blocked. And then we move up to the sacral chakra. So they all have different words. There's different languages, different words for them and stuff. Whenever we go to our sacral chakra, it's our orange. That's where our creativity, our sexuality, different things like that are all in here. Our relationships, our bonding and things like that. Whenever it's blocked, if you have a blockage in that chakra, you may feel your emotions are really ruling you. You're feeling kind of like stuck in your own head. You're feeling numb. You're feeling, you either feel nothing or you feel too much. That might be like an indication that that's your sacral chakra is blocked and that you need to unblock that. You then move up. So that's just below the navel. So then we move up to our third one, which is our solar plexus, which is just like here. I don't know if you can see me. This is our solar plexus, and it's yellow. So when we're out of balance with ourselves, or we lack self-esteem, or we have like temper flare-ups, or aren't really communicating properly, or you're just feeling uneven, that's a sign to say that they are blocked. And then you've got your heart chakra. So the color for that is green. And whenever it's blocked and it needs balancing or healing, you may feel anger, jealousy, grief, self-hatred, just feeling like a blockage there where you're not bonding with relationships. Other people aren't bonding with you. You're blocking people off. And whenever it's open, and whenever it's balanced, you will feel then, I apologize, you will feel your self-love, your acceptance and forgiveness, and you're open-hearted to other people. And then we go up then to our 5th, which is our throat chakra. And this is our authentic truth. So this is us speaking our truth. This is our communication. And if it's blocked, we may start feeling like there's something stuck in our throat. We may start getting a sore throat. We may start getting like the inflammation, and it can actually go the whole way to your ears. So that is where that is done. So there's my babysitter just came down trying to the dogs. And then this is also like, if this is blocked, we're going to be trapping our own truth and our own opinions. And when it's clear, we are open-minded, we're speaking our truth, we're getting things off our chest. If there's things that we want to say to people in our lives that we don't feel that we can, and we block it down, that's how we get blockages, when we don't speak our truth, we don't speak what we want to speak. And then we've got our third eye, our brow chakra, which is our intuition. So that's our connection to the spirits. That's our connection to our higher good. And whenever it's blocked, we look at it, we feel like clouded, our judgment's clouded, our lack of focus, things like that. And then we go up to our crown chakra, which is just placed above the head, okay? And it's our connection to the universe, our universal energy. Everyone has it. Everyone just needs to kind of connect to that a wee bit more. And whenever it's blocked, we may feel isolated. We may feel emotionally distressed. We may feel that we're disconnected to other people. And a good way then to open the crown chakra is to work on yourself and connect to your spiritual side, to connect to the higher consciousness, connect to other things. This could go on. Your chakras, it's a big, long, it's a whole other interview.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose interest. So that's basically it. So we have all the colours. So it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and then your clear or it's violet, or your indigo clear thing. Okay. And a good way to unblock them yourself is there's different ways that you can do that. You can just tune into your body, listen to all the wee physical, like niggles and stuff, you know, everything that we feel emotionally or we block emotionally will come out in a physical sense and a symptom. So it's about tuning into that, tuning into your body and finding out what's niggling you where, and then sorting that out. Instead of squishing it down, we need to sort things out. Okay. I'm going to have to take a drink of water after that. That was a big long explanation. It's just, you want to make sure that you get loads of information in, because sometimes you can hear too much and it can become very overwhelming, or sometimes you just hear enough. So I hope that that's a good explanation.
I mean, you did explain it very beautifully, and in such simple words, for the layman too, who don't have that much knowledge about the chakras. So the way you explained it, they must have also thought what exactly are the chakras and how do they work and how can we unblock them. So now, Megan, moving on to my next question. Now let's talk about Reiki a bit. So I would like to know from you that how does energies heal your pain? I mean, how can energies heal the pain? And also, does Reiki also help not just in physical pain but also in mental stability too?
Yes. So what we have to remember is that we are all energy. Okay, everything is energy. Like the universe is energy. We've got everything is energy. We are energy, and that is how it works. So we just tune in to our energies. We tune into we tune into ourselves and figure out what works for what. Okay, so your Reiki is basically energy healing. It does not heal you. We're not, whenever you go to a Reiki practitioner, you're not there to get healed. It's there to kind of act as a guide, or to kind of work through our energy onto the client and shift and remove blockages. Okay, so that's one thing. Like, we are all energy, and that's something that we can all access this as well. Everyone has it in them. We can all access Reiki. So I've lost my train of thought now. Sorry, I've lost my train of thought.
No problem. You were saying that, yeah.
It's energy healing. Yes. Okay. So that's how it works. So we're all energy. You don't necessarily have to have hands-on interventions in order to move things. We can move it with our energy. If you think about like crystals, if you hold a crystal, I don't know if you know much about that, but even crystals, they're vibrational medicines, and they go back years and years and years. They're an ancient thing. If you hold a crystal and you really feel it, and you think about what kind of a crystal it is, you try to connect to it, you will feel the energy, you will feel the vibration coming from it. And that's something that you have, like, whenever you think about Reiki, you think about. So Reiki is a non-invasive kind of treatment, healing. You don't have to have your hands on you. You can do it from above. Sometimes I like to, put my hands on people's shoulders to get my energy, to feel their energy completely. But it doesn't need to be a hands-on thing at all. So, and whenever it works, we channel that through our chakra system. We work through our chakra system, and we would just place our hands, our healing energy, our hands over. We will tune in and we will ground ourselves. We will place our hands over our chakras at a height, and we will work on clearing that. So Reiki practitioners are attuned. They have different attunements. We go through 1, 2, and 3. And the third attunement is that you're a Reiki master, and that you can go on and teach other people. Again, it's always better that you go to somebody who is attuned and who has been taught the right way. However, I will say that again, this is something we all have in us to do. We all have it. You can attune yourselves. And also the founder of Reiki, he attuned himself. So he didn't go to anybody. So, so yeah, and then, okay, so yeah, that's it.
Okay.
That answers your question.
Yeah, it does. So Megan, also, we have heard that in Reiki, you said that we don't need the touch of the body. You can just feel the energies from the, from up also. But here's my question to you that, I actually have heard, and I think a lot more people too, they have this thing that where they think that in Reiki, they need to touch the body. So okay, so even if we don't, so can we do a Reiki session online? Can we do it virtually too? Like, you're sitting in Ireland, I'm sitting in India. So can we do it like that?
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Yeah, because energy travels.
Okay.
Energy travels. Our voice is traveling right now. It's energy. Sounds that we're listening to. It's energy. It's traveling. The intention is there. So the intention to heal and to pass healing on to other people is there. There is a lot of collective Reiki masters, Reiki practitioners who will come together and offer Reiki to heal the world. Different things going on, different crises going on in the world. If you remember the Australian fires and the bushfires, there were a couple of evenings where we would have met virtually. So we all would have had a time allocated. We all would have went and sat down in our rooms, in our spaces, and offered healing to the world, offered healing to Australia to kind of help that way. So there definitely is ways. And this is something as well that, people are very skeptical of is the distant healing. But I find, it's the same energy. My energy is still going to go to you if you're willing to accept it at the other end. COVID has taught us that we have to do things virtually. We can't necessarily meet face to face. And that was a lot of people's way of kind of keep looking after themselves, was to get in touch with a Reiki practitioner and go through it distant. Everyone does it differently. Some people will say, I'm putting out a healing for people, sit down, accept it, just know that it's happening. I like to actually ring the person or FaceTime them, just to kind of talk them through it. I ask them just to lie down. It gives me a visualization. So whenever I'm visualizing them lying down and, relaxing, I can then transmit my energy and ground myself, connect into my spirit guides and the universe, and then put the healing on the other people. And that's how it works. So it's all to do with my energy getting transmitted intentionally over to somebody else. So absolutely, you can do it virtually. And it is very accessible. There is a lot of people who do it virtually as well. And I can do it from here to India. I can do it, if anyone was interested and anyone was drawn to me, I can certainly set up, distant healing for people to experience 100%. It's transferable. But yes, hands-on healing. So there's never one healing the same, never one Reiki session the same. And there's never one practitioner that does it the same way. I know myself, I will go in to do a healing session. I just have no expectations, but there's times I will do different things. I'm drawn to different places in the body. I'm drawn more at one end rather than the other. Sometimes I put my hands on, sometimes I don't. I've been to people that have done Reiki on me before and they have touched my body. I've been okay with that. But for people who aren't okay with it, there's no touching needed.
That's amazing. Okay, that's great. So Megan, I think we still have a minute. So if you can, we actually would like, you also do card reading. So if you can please take up the cards and do a reading for us.
Yes. Okay. So this is these are my oracle card readings that I use. These are my daily ones that I use myself. So my way to connect to them is by using these. And this is Doreen Virtue's cards. And they're all about the archangels, or no, it's Diana Cooper. I'm sorry, not Doreen Virtue, Diana Cooper. So I will pull a card. I just usually do these for, just to kind of guide me, like set me up for the day with a wee message, kind of what's happening. To make me, there you go, there's your one, just fell out. So for the collective, this is your card for the collective. Okay.
Okay.
And the message with this one is that be an ambassador for Earth and build your bridge to Source. So again, this is touching on us being a collective. We are a collective. We are not one. And when we be an ambassador for the Earth and appreciate the nature, that is when we can work for our higher goods. And if we keep working for our highest good and for the higher goods of others, we're flying. And build your bridge of Source. So this is about you looking into yourself and learning about you, learning about what you want to do with your life, and remembering that you are the creator of your own life. You can do this with the support of the spirits.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's really, really amazing. Thank you so much, Megan, for coming to SCube TV. It was such a fun conversation. I enjoyed so much chatting with you. So thank you again for coming to the channel and doing this show. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for asking me on. Thank you.
Of course. It was a pleasure. All right, guys, that's it from SCube TV. Keep on watching. Done.